when you start doing a lot of this, like being consistent or trying to leverage the internet, because when you keep doing these things, it becomes largely your identity, and you start building your circles, and you just get at a better momentum with it. So how to handle the other extreme of it, which is, let's say there's some negative energy, there's criticism, there's something that's beyond the constructive angle, like beyond the collaborative angle that we've been speaking about. Uh, how do you not fall into this hatred trap that just is too easy, because things can just escalate when you're out there, when you are in your communities. So how do you say that one should segregate this, and have you had such experiences in your creative journey?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. And look, if it was like a bigger, more generous person, they would be like, well, just ignore it, whatever, kind of thing. Then there are days when I would just be like, whatever, it's just, and you're putting yourself out there. It's on the internet. You will get people who would like leave a comment. They're probably spending like 10 seconds just typing this like kind of nasty comment. And
Mm.
you spend a day agonizing about it, maybe more. So there's just asymmetry in just impact there. And you kind of have to like realize it, being like, are you willing to let this like thing ruin your day? And you kind of have to like, so when I was a lot younger, teenage years, 20s, I would use any of these like negativity to like kind of fuel myself into being like, well, I'm going to
Mm.
show them, I'm going to make this work kind of thing. And I kind of feel like what ended up happening was I would always often start seeking out people who are like kind of negative and being like, well,
Right.
what did you say? Like, did you want to like, did you think I'm not like going to do this? Do you think I'm not good enough? And it just puts you in like a really weird mental state because you're often trying to
Yeah.
like feel challenged and you're like, wow, come at me kind of thing.
Becomes
And
counteractive kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you're supposed to be doing the opposite, which is like, you kind of let these people chill because it doesn't really matter. It shouldn't be affecting your psyche, but you can't help it. If anything, you're like trying to, it's like a heat seeking missile. You're like trying to gravitate towards these people who are just horrible for your mental health.
Mm.
And I just let that just like destroy me, being like, oh, these people, I'm going to show them kind of thing. And then at some point I was like, why? Why do I care about this so much? And I had this like really excellent leadership coach. Her name is Katya. And she basically said, one of the things that she had said was, one, work with people who kind of see what you can do, who can like kind of see how creative you can be and kind
Mm.
of see the positives of you. And you want to like be surrounding yourself with like other people like that. And two, observe all the stuff coming in. If somebody is like saying something negative or leave a comment that is like a really shitty YouTube comment, just let it just go through your system. It's like, oh, like come from a place of like curiosity. Like, oh, how does it make you
Mm.
feel? Why do you react this way? Why does it like really bother you? Do you really feel like you're not good enough? And you just let it pass through your system and you will kind of figure out it's not, they have so little power over you at the end of this. Like you don't have
Right.
to do anything in reaction. You can just let this flow and let it slide and kind of have this like it's kind of like watching a river flow or something. You're like, well, it's in point A and now it's in point B. Great, it flowed by. Does nothing to me. I'm just going to go do my thing. And kind of be this like passive observer of negative emotions and all of that. And it sounds so zen and it sounds really woo woo. But if you truly can get yourself to that state, it's almost a little bit like funny. You're like, ah, ha, ha, like, sure, this guy said this. And you just like let that thing go by. And you're like, well, okay, fine. And then you just move on because what's it to you? You're not going to spend all your time agonizing about it. You owe this person nothing. And if it was like a sincere kind of critique or actual feedback to make yourself better, you should actually appreciate it because not many people will actually do that. So in
Yeah.
some cases, I would just like leave a comment being like, thank you so much. I never thought about that. And I would just like tell them. But in some cases, I just let it go because what are you going to do? It's like such a waste of time for you to like just get yourself so worked up about every small thing.
Mm.
And it can always be this way. I used to be that person who was always like getting so riled up, so frustrated, so negative. Like I'm never going to go post Like, I think there was a time in my 20s when somebody left some anonymous comment somewhere for some article that I got covered in, and being like, "Oh, if she wasn't
Mhm.
tweeting all day, maybe she would like be a better founder or something." And I was like, "The fuck is that? Like, how can you say that?"
Yeah.
And I looked at my Twitter history and I was like, "I tweeted once this week. What is wrong with these people?" And for some reason, I just stopped tweeting for like months after that. And I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
damn it."
no.
And now in retrospect, I was like, why did I let myself like get so impacted by it? It's just this person who's probably like eating popcorn, leaving this anonymous comment, like faceless person, just putting themselves out there saying this mean thing. Doesn't they're not even thinking about me. Like whatever, it's just life moves on. So
Yeah.
all this wisdom is much, much later when I'm older. But when I was younger, I was definitely not that like zen about it.